hell, I almost said good morning. See? And you're worried. This is me messing up right away.
This is where we're at today.
Yep. It's one of those weeks. It is Wednesday, and it feels like a Monday. I feel like every day this week has felt like Monday.
Yeah, it is.
But we are here. Oh, shit, my computer turned off again. We are here on another episode of Untitled, and this time I have a special guest. This is the lovely Brennigan. She runs BG Photography Studio. She did my wedding pictures, and they were amazing. And she's amazing, and her photos are. I will link all of her pages and everything under this video as well. Down.
Is that what they do?
I know. Yeah, right. In the movies, they always go right here. I have no idea how they do those in video.
They'll just scroll and find it.
Just go down into the description or something. We'll have it there. But God, now I'm blanking. Okay, so obviously with a photographer here, the topic is photography. And oh God, you know what? One thing I didn't say is how everyone wants to be a photographer now. They think they buy a nice camera and they can go out and take pictures and be.
We have lots of Uncle Bobs. That's what we call them at weddings. With their DSLR and like a big nice telephoto and a flash too. That always helps.
Right. Everyone needs a flash. Like my sister. So I took photos for her wedding, but I was in the wedding too. Yes. So I could only do like the getting ready photos or the
and like of the two of them.
Yeah, and the first dance and whatever. But she had someone who was a photographer who was an Uncle Bob, and he came and he brought, I think, only a 4 gig flash drive. Oh. So one, he ran out of space, like within 20 minutes of shooting.
Yeah.
Which was awful. And then he didn't have any backups, so he just left.
He left?
He just left. And then he told her that he couldn't edit the photos because he doesn't have software. And I was like, well, then why did you offer to do it at all? And not to mention, it's $10 a month to pay for Photoshop. Just get it for 1 month and then get rid of it. It's not like it's a contract. And don't be one of those people. That'll lead us into our first topic. You definitely pay what you get for. That one was a free photographer, and there's a reason.
This is true. There's always going to be somebody cheaper that will do it for cheaper, but you're also going to get cheaper quality.
Yeah. You're not going to get someone, like I said, everyone thinks they're a photographer now if they buy a nice camera. They may not necessarily know how to edit the photos. They may not necessarily know how to even pose people. I mean, there was one time I think we were all lined up and he was like way over here to the left. And I'm like, having taken photos myself, I'm like, what are you doing? Because we're all looking over our shoulders. I'm like, this is the weirdest pose ever.
I mean, weddings are expensive. You get it. You planned one. You paid for one. So you really have to make the priorities of what. Maybe you do want, like, that $7,000 dress or, like a 5-tier cake or something like that.
No, my biggest thing was photography. I told Chris, I will spend the most money on photography because I want nice photos because later on, that's what I'm going to have to remember it.
And what you're getting isn't just the photos or the photographer itself. Like, you're getting the expertise, like the years, the equipment, the better equipment, the editing skills. I think the biggest thing, would you say, is just knowing how to pose people. I mean, everyone has, like, their sore spots or, what they're kind of self-conscious about. Yeah. And I feel like communicating and feeling comfortable with your photographer and being able then to just be aware and...
Well, I'm not going to lie. Since I've done 2 photo shoots with you on that, some of the ideas that you had for, like, how to pose people, I was like, I'm going to use that because that's great. And it's worked awesome, to do it. Yeah. So just learning from other things. But, I wouldn't have done that if I had never been in a photo shoot with you, and you've done this for years, so.
And I'm still learning, like, every time I shoot with somebody else, that I will assist somebody, or even when I'm in front of the camera, I feel like you always kind of pack a little bit of knowledge in, and that helps you, and that's kind of, I think, why then the photographer community is so tight-knit.
Yeah. Well, I think the artist community just in general. So I've talked about that in my previous videos, that your community is really your biggest thing when you're an artist. Mm-hmm. It's, everyone else that you know, your friends, your connections that you make, because they'll help you out in the long run. It's the same thing with photography. You have all these other photographers that you can learn tips and tricks from. You can figure out what lens work best, what filters work best, what kind of, software you want to use, tips and tricks to use in that software, tips on how to pose people, different places to go to. Because
I've learned so much from YouTube, honestly, like on Photoshop, because I didn't do anything with college in photography.
Well, are you kidding me? College didn't teach me anything as far as Photoshop went. They just expected me to know by the time I got
I'm like,
there.
face swap, let's figure this out. And I honestly, going back to like the community aspect, I mean, this is what I do full time, so I don't have coworkers. So I felt like intense loneliness just because, you know, you're sitting at your computer all day. But I feel like when you reach out to other artists and people that, you know, do this for full time, that's kind of like your friends, your best friends, your community.
Well, and it is something to say, too, so that when you're paying for your photographer, you're not just paying for them being there and shooting the photo shoot. Because a lot of people say that, too, well, you're only here for this many hours, and that makes out this much. That's the other thing. Don't ever try and figure out amount of dollars per hour, because the longer you work on something doesn't necessarily mean it's better.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's some things I can just breeze through, and they're far better than things I've worked hours on.
Yeah,
so it's the same. Some photo shoots take, you know, less time to edit than others, but that does not mean that one's better than the other. It just means that...
A big thing, too, about investment, normally, like, a higher-priced photographer is also licensed with, like, the state, and so, you know, I pay sales tax, and I pay federal tax, and I pay Michigan state tax. So, I mean, it comes out like a third of my income goes straight to the government because, you know, with anybody else with a 9-to-5, it's automatically taken out, and then you kind of match that. But I have to pay, like, double what the normal person does.
Yep. And I've got that, too, now. So with my business, I'm licensed through Michigan, working on all of the art pictures and commissions that everyone gets from me. So when I'm charging you only, you know, a certain amount of dollars, and you see, oh, my God, well, you know, they do this, and they're making, like, $75 an hour on this one thing. You gotta imagine, one, I'm paying for all the subscriptions to the software on my computer. I'm sitting here paying to work at home, and I'm coming home from my first job to my second job is what I call it, and then I work here at home, so it's not like I get time off. I don't get paid any benefits for working for myself.
Like health insurance, and anybody that, you know, does art full time. I mean, you know, we have to go on health insurance, and
and so you're not only paying for the time that they're with you, but then the time that they go home and then they take to edit and process and pick out which photos look best and everything else. And, you know, that was something we were talking about. So when we do a photo shoot, you take thousands of photos, lots of photos. Even if it's just like a small little family shoot, you still take way more photos than you need to. You're not going to get every
especially
single
family
photos.
Shoots with like little kids.
And because one of them, the kid will be blinking. The other one is not looking the right way. Or then the other one, the mom's yelling at the kid. So you take like an insane amount just to get the one that you need or two. And, you know, the biggest thing that I've heard is, really, that's all I get? That's many photos? It's like, do you realize how hard it is to get good shots?
I feel like that's one big thing is making sure from the get-go, like, your client has the proper expectations. I feel like that's really prominent, too, in wedding photography. Like, knowing when you're going to be there on the wedding day, and what parts you're kind of orchestrating versus what you're, you know, just kind of standing by getting pictures of. Or I think going into photo shoots, being very self-aware, and, like, I think some brides, you know, they want a lot of, like, Photoshop done on their bodies or something like that I'm not even capable of. Number one. Number two, I love to celebrate all body types, colors, you know, different sexual orientations, like all of it. I mean, so going in, I think, with the proper expectations of what you want out of this, and that I feel like is important to have.
Trying to do something impossible or be like, get rid of these fat rolls or this and that. It's like, I'll shoot you in your best light. I'm not going to make you look horrible in the pictures.
Right.
But
that's my job, is to pose you in ways that make you feel like you look flattering. You look like you. I feel like my biggest goal whenever I do consultations with brides is that, you know, there's different genres of wedding photography, like the dark and moody and, you know, artistic, you know, very, like, visionary. And I can be artistic, but in a way that I like to laugh. I like to smile. I like people to be happy. And so, I'm cracking dad jokes and making a fool out of myself.
But that was what was fun about it, because then everybody smiles and it looks more natural. So. And that's what I do all the time, because, I hate it. So, especially with, like, boys in senior photos. Because boys in general, they don't photograph very well, because they're all very stiff and they get very weird. And so trying to get them to laugh and relax.
That's your job.
Yeah, so I've had the moms be like, why are you doing that? Like, just take the picture. And I'm like, no, you don't understand, because right now it's a forced smile, and you can tell when it's a forced smile versus when it's a real one.
So if I can department store picture.
So if I can get you to laugh and think about something funny or who knows what, like, a lot of them I just make fun of their moms, because kids think that's hilarious, especially the boys. They're like, yeah, and they'll love to, like, chip in, and so they'll go for it. Or, you know, what you did with my husband and his groomsmen, and they're all like, I don't know what to do with my, because they're all weird, and they have to quote movies.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's what made them laugh, and then, you know, I look back at it, and I go, yeah, that's my nerdy husband. Yeah. And his stupid friends doing stupid stuff. But I'd rather have that than them all pose, because I know that's not how they are. They're not. I know.
I would much rather be people, you know, kind of mirror their authentic self. And, yeah.
So.
Which my authentic self is making dad jokes and being really stupid and nerdy. I don't know. I feel like sometimes people...
I run a comic book page, so I'm right there with you.
Well, you know, some photographers in my community, I feel like, you know, we're close. You know, do we tell our location here?
Like where I'm at?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
We're in Michigan, Holland, if you didn't know that.
Well, you know, we live by, like, a bigger city where people are kind of just, you know, put together, I would say. And I am not put together, and I feel like that's a disclaimer. Business-wise, yes, everything's organized, OCD about that. As a person with, like, my jokes and how I interact with people, I'm very, like, this is me.
Well, that's
what I like those clients, then, that I get to work with.
Yeah.
I feel like some people, like, I want the ritzy, you know, bougie clients, and I'm like, I'm not bougie.
No, because then you don't jive too well with your client, because you're not at the same. Yeah. You don't know what they want, because that's not you.
I want my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that either. Like, if they were too up, like, I actually, so in my job, I help do new hires, and I just had someone come in, and most people I can joke around with and be sarcastic right away. This lady, every time I did, was just like, okay. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with you, because you're so serious. Like, I'm trying to crack jokes, and you're just like, and you don't smile. And I'm like, I'm uncomfortable in this situation. I have this all the time, because I crack jokes, and I'm sarcastic, and foul-mouthed, and all sorts of other stuff. And everyone's...
That's always something... I never know, like, how far can I test my limits as far as, like, my language, you know? And so normally if, like, they let slip, like, you know, something, I'm like, okay, we're safe. Like, I can feel them out.
Oh, my God, I went to my dentist the other day, and I quoted a SpongeBob and then a meme within 5 minutes, and then she started doing it and then started swearing, and I'm like, you know what? This is my new favorite dentist, because she's exactly like me. I might need to know who that is later. Like, she started quoting SpongeBob and memes and swearing and saying, and I'm like... This is a cool dentist office. I'll come here more often. I was like, you weren't here the last time I was here. Like, I like this place, but now I really like this place. Yeah. So I think it helps when your clients connect with you, because they get to know you on a personal level versus trying to be all professional. And I don't know. It just gets kind of weird sometimes.
So, like, piggybacking off of that, I feel like transparency is a really big thing to have. And, you know, on my website, at least, for, like, the About Me... I had it really, like, pretty. It was beautiful. It was, like, eloquent. And because I was an English major in college, so I just, you know, wrote up something really fancy. And then I was like, no. Like, this isn't
Actually,
me.
We can pull up. Let's see what hers is. I'm going to grab this.
I hope it's probably about, like, puzzle. I'm an old lady in my spare time. I quilt, and I love to sew, like, baby stuff.
Dude, I like to sew
do
costumes.
Do puzzles by the fire. I make jam.
All right, so right now, her About Me on her page says, my life consists of naps with my black cat, so I'm assuming this is not your tuxedo.
No, I don't. No, okay. I don't like him.
We're cat people, but she doesn't like her tuxedo. I love my tuxedo. Yoga, pants, and excessive amounts of chocolate-covered donuts. I started pursuing wedding photography 7 years ago while my husband and I were planning our own wedding, and I couldn't be happier wrapping up my 6th full season of celebrating love.
That's true. I was happy about it.
I stopped counting how many weddings I photographed after I reached 100 weddings. I danced the wobble with a camera in hand and a smile on my face. I fix veils, fetch water, hug grandmas, and play with flower girls. So I'm an expert at pinning on boutonnieres and even better at coordinating rowdy groomsmen who are happy to see their BFFs tie the knot. I'm up for anything creative with photography. I love working with people who are just as excited to try new things. So I think that pretty much. And I think your other one on Facebook was personal interest, bouquets of flowers, scent of old books, crawling into a warm bed, because who doesn't love that?
Naps every day.
Nestling into my husband's nook between his neck and shoulder.
You know, this place right here.
Like, just cuddle. Rocking babies to sleep, writing with a fine-tip Sharpie, redecorating continuously, shopping for antiques, which I think my whole freaking office is made out of antiques.
and upcycling.
Yes.
Very into recycling right now.
Dude, I do that all the time with all sorts of different things. But, you know, that's just, it's fun when you connect with them because it makes it easier to do photo shoots. And like you said, when there's that expectation, then you're not worrying later on that if you give it to them, they're going to be upset or they're not going to like it, or they get, I mean, I still get that when I create. I just, you know, I do bridal shower invites or baby shower invites or something. I send it to them in that first bit until they respond. I'm like,
it's very anxiety inducing. I feel like that's part of the creative's brain too, is like that need for approval as well.
Well, because they're spending money, and I don't know why it's different with creatives things, but they're spending money on you, on your talents. And so it's not like they're just buying a product they've already seen. You're creating something special for them. And if they don't like it, you're like, oh, shit, now what do I do? Like,
I think it's because we're such emotive people. Creatives are in general. And I feel like we have that innate desire to please. And so, when you don't know, you're like, oh my gosh, are they going to like this? I hope they do.
Because I had that, and they didn't respond for like 30 minutes. I kept checking my phone, and I'm like, and I mean, they loved it at the end, and I was just like, okay, good. But like for that 30 minutes while I was waiting, I was just like, oh God, please like it. And then I'm looking up other ideas on how I could fix it to be something different. Because I was like, if they don't like it, then I could do this, and I could give them another design. And I'm just getting all weird. And my friends are like, calm down, they're gonna like it. It looks awesome. And I'm like, but you don't understand. Like, what if it's not exactly what they? And it gets tough because you're creating something that they have in their mind that you can't see, that they're trying to describe to you. And with weddings, I'm sure it could be that way too, because that's their big day. And if they don't like it,
so
people
can get a portfolio.
Yeah, people can get nasty sometimes. I'm assuming. So
I did have one incident maybe like 5 years ago, where there were certain just like poses they weren't happy with. And thankfully, like, I had my portfolio still on my website, so I pointed that out. I'm like, when you booked me, like, these types of poses, you know, like, shots, like, artistic shots, maybe, like, where their head, like, the head is cut off, maybe, you know? Or, you know, it's cut off in certain areas of their body. Like, that's within my portfolio, like, this is...
Yeah,
and then they're like, oh, yeah, you know, that's true. You know, it was just... They were disappointed about other aspects of their day, but, you know, it's just having that there.
Yep, and then you can refer back to it and be like, you saw it. You chose me because you saw my stuff.
Also, contracts.
Yes. Oh, my God. I've been doing contracts, and eventually I'm going to have a show with my lawyer, Joey. He works with creatives. He's fantastic. But he's going to do a whole segment with me on lawyers or law for creatives, because it can get weird.
It's overwhelming, number one, I think, because creatives don't always have maybe like a business-minded brain.
Yeah.
But it's saving grace. I feel like, especially now, since everything's digital, it's so easy, not even to lose something, because you can back up things, and you should be backing up, but just the fact that anything could corrupt at any moment, like, you really don't know.
Or you could have people go back and digitally alter it and all sorts of other things, and there's just weird things that can happen all around, and They had it before where I didn't have a contract, and this was in the early stages of just doing it. Did it for a friend, and then they got mad and didn't want to pay me because they were like, well, I want all of the regular photos, that I want the raw ones, and I want this, and I want that, and then they weren't going to pay me for it because I wasn't going to give it to them. Yeah. And then, so now I'm like, nope, sorry. Yeah. If I'm doing a big photography shoot for you, if I'm doing anything, if I'm creating art for you, anything else, I am going to have you sign a contract. I don't care if you are my family member and I don't think you're going to rip me off. You're signing a stupid contract now. Especially because now I'm a licensed business with Michigan, so if I go into my tax person,
that's a
you know, then I can have records of everything I've done and everything I've, you know, made that whole year and everything else like that. So that was a big one with signing and getting those contracts. And then you know, just making sure, so like, I felt so bad. So my friend had her wedding the November after mine, and her photographer had her sign a contract and everything else, who knows what, never delivered the photos. Refused to talk to her, all sorts of other things. And that contract actually saved her.
Right, it's not just for our benefit, it's also for the client benefit.
Oh, yeah, because it saved her later, because then she could take it to court. She could take it to civil court. She paid $50, And she actually ended up getting her photos because finally the photographer was like, I don't want to have to go to court.
Oh, yeah.
And so she ended up editing them and giving them to her, which was great. But the fact that she had to sit there for months, and I don't think she got them back till like springtime, and it was just this whole huge deal. And she had to pay an extra $50 then to go do that because that's non-refundable. Yeah. And just
kind of like taints the whole wedding experience.
It's not cool. Yeah. So if you're a photographer, don't do that because we'll seek you out. We'll find you.
And we'll send her lawyer to you.
Yeah, right. We'll come find you. Take you out. Just don't do that shit.
I won't take you out. I'm not that aggressive.
I am.
But I'll send her
I'm
to
feisty.
Get you.
I will. If you mess with my friends, I'll fight you.
I'm the people pleaser. Like
normally I am, but like when she was just in tears. And
oh my gosh, yeah.
My friend is like, she doesn't. When she gets mad, she doesn't even swear. She's just like, something bad will happen. She'll be like, well, that's frustrating. And then she'll just walk away. Like, she's just the sweetest person ever. Like, to the point where my friend...
Your wedding?
Yeah, she's Jenny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so... And so, like, the meanest thing that one of my groomsmen could have said about her was that she gave a toy to our cat that makes too much noise. Like, that was literally, like, no one can say anything bad about it. And so... to see her that upset was just like, this isn't fair.
Yeah.
And so then she told me, I was like, okay, who is she? Who do I have to cut? I will go after her. I will take her down. She goes, no, don't do that. And I was just like, I'm going to take her out. She does not do this. And yeah, so.
I love your feistiness.
I'm feisty. I'll take people out. But so there's a lot that goes into the prices. And yes, you'll find somebody cheaper, but you won't get the same quality, you won't get the same personality, and you'll probably get someone who, so it's like the one at my sister's, who just doesn't care and will end up, like, not giving you your photos, or you have to go to court and fight them for it, or, you know, there's just a lot of things that go into it, and it's the same throughout any art thing. You're not just paying for the final product that you see. You're paying for the time that they put into it, the years that they've spent practicing this, the many YouTube tutorials we've watched to try and figure out new stuff on Photoshop on how to edit photos, and, you know, keeping up on current camera technology and new memory cards and all sorts of other things. Like, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes instead of just the few hours that you're with your photographer, including, because Ottawa County decided to be nasty, and that's me being nice, they have imposed now a new law, and I tried looking it up, so at first I didn't realize it was just Ottawa County, and there's actually a lot of parks that do this, which I think is ridiculous. But they want to charge photographers a fee to go and shoot there, which, and you brought up a good point, we all pay taxes to live in the city, and so those taxes go towards those parks, so why do we now have to pay an extra, what is it, $25 per session? I think it's like $75 a year or something like that.
I guess allegedly somebody brought a bunch of props and like a couch for mini sessions and blocked like pathways, I think. So it was basically just something, one apple ruined the whole bunch.
Yeah. And
so I think it's being considerate to other people.
Yeah.
I mean, these parks, a lot of people, my clients didn't even realize existed until I brought them there. And it's just...
It makes you want to go somewhere else, which is really sad because then that means that park doesn't get as much exposure. You have to travel outside your home. Your client has to travel further. And it's just frustrating because I love going to Hemlock Park. Hemlock Park is one of my favorite ones to go to. And you will see in the fall when they're doing senior photos, there's like the entire field is just strewn with people doing senior photos because everyone likes these parks, but I'm kind of wondering how that's going to go now with...
Well, especially if they're just going to be targeting professional photographers, because I feel like that only encourages then those... The amateur, like the $50, you know, ones that don't invest in their equipment or don't pay taxes or, you know, anything like that. I feel like that's just kind of giving them a nudge to like, oh yeah, go do it.
Yeah.
When really...
And I you know, it's a little hard to say that they can... I just don't know how they would enforce it, to be honest, because if I was out there shooting and you were out there shooting, how are they going to tell the difference between the fact that you're licensed and I just do it as a hobby?
Right.
Like, they can't tell who's doing what. Yeah. They can't, and their part on there was only if you're getting paid. So how do you know I'm getting paid and she's not getting paid, or neither of us are getting paid, or
exactly.
Or there's sort of a loophole if you don't get paid to do it, but then later on you happen to make money on it, they don't charge you for it. So then I just say, don't pay me till later. And, you know?
Yeah, it's just messy.
It is.
And I feel like there should have been a little bit more thought going into it before they...
Yeah, and like the national parks has a good one. So they say no commercial photography without paying. You can't bring in large set items. But other than that, they don't care if you take pictures of your friends or family there or anything else like that, because they think that we all pay money to have these national parks, that we shouldn't be charged to have to go and take pictures there. And I like the way the national parks have it set up, but
I feel like what's their motto is like, take pictures, leave footprints or something like that.
Yeah, only footprints, nothing.
Yeah, and I feel like that's just a very good thing, like what you said about just taking pictures of people. You don't need to bring a whole set to do something.
And I mean,
like
if you want to bring something simple, like, I don't know, like, I've seen people bring like little suitcases to stick babies in or something.
Just stick babies in. Well, let me close her up.
Goodbye.
Gotta take her out.
This is why I'm not having kids. You just stick them in suitcases and leave them places.
To ship them to my
I don't know, baskets or little things
like
So, I mean, that makes sense. Yeah. Little props, but we're not talking about bringing your entire living room set to freaking Hemlock Park. Like, you don't do that.
I think that's a big just life thing in general, too, is being considerate of people's space. Yeah. And that, for some people, I think that's a hard lesson to learn, surprisingly.
Really? Because I would never know that working in customer service.
Yeah. Just, that being patient, trying to continually put yourself in, like, other people's shoes and things like that. And can't do that?
I don't know. It's just so difficult.
You should go to my therapist. She'll help you.
I can't empathize with other people. They just all make me mad.
It's really been a rough week.
Yeah, it's one of the... Actually, I actually said it to Pam. I work with her, and she's part of my family. She's with my dad.
Yeah.
But she said something. I was like, I'm going to punch you. She's like, you're not punching anybody today. I'm like, I'm going to hit something. You're not hitting anybody. And I'm like, I just really want to physically hurt something.
You should do, like, a kickboxing class or something.
I am so uncoordinated. I used to do Taekwondo in high school.
That takes coordination.
But...
Did you fail?
Yeah, I failed. But I was born without connective tissue throughout my whole body, so all my joints dislocate. So I would end up, like, on the floor, like, doing weird... Yeah, it just didn't
I have a question. When you were little, this is not related at all to anything, but you know how, like, you pick kids up by, like, their arms and swing them around? Did you ever, like... get anything? Did people do that?
I'm sure it would have, and I would have never known, because it doesn't hurt when it happens.
I did that to someone's little girl once. I felt terrible.
And for me, it doesn't hurt. Like, other people, it does. So I can sit here, and it'll pop right out.
I don't know if I'm ready for that.
And it doesn't hurt, so I can sleep with it dislocated all night. I can do all this other stuff. It's just really embarrassing when you fall down on the floor, because there goes your hip, or there goes your knee, and it's like, oh, this is embarrassing. So, yeah, in Taekwondo, I'd be, like, doing a kick and go, boop, down on the floor, because I'm just not coordinated. I go walk on the treadmill at the gym, and that's about it.
I'm not good at sports.
Okay, no.
I dribbled in from, like, out of bounds.
I can do curling. I can do curling.
Okay.
I can't, but that's because you just kind of stand up.
Do you want to know what my exercise is lately?
Yoga?
Catching Pokemon.
You told me that, and I should have known that.
I didn't play for like 2 years, and now it's back.
Oh my god. Do you have one of those, like, watch
No,
things?
but my friend does, and I'm kind of curious where he got it. I have. I mean, but you know where we live, there's not, like, Pokemon just, like, everywhere. We have to...
Yeah, but you go out and do it anyway, so I have one, and I don't use it. It's sitting in my house.
Adam might like that.
We'll talk about that later. You know, but doing trade-off deals over here, just off the books. It's not happening. I didn't see it.
You look good in navy.
Thank you. I looked into my closet, and literally all of it's like blue and purple. Like, I just blue, purple, and black. I just like dress like a Bruce.
Adam shrunk this, so.
So funny husband stories, because we all have these ones. Or funny guy stories, because guys just are weird in general. But we have, this is when my brother, so I have a little brother. He's 13 years younger than me.
He's cute.
He's
like little. He's like cute little boy. Not like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. He's definitely
like she's coming after my 13-year-old brother. Weird. No. So he was probably like 7 or 8. He had the smaller t-shirts, because he's a kid. And he'd spent the night one night, and Chris was doing laundry, and he forgot one of his white shirts, so it kind of got tossed in there. And Chris comes up and thought he had shrunk his white shirts, and he's holding up his toddler shirts. And I'm like, that's a kid's shirt, that's not yours. And he thought he had shrunk it, and he, like, freaked out, and all of a sudden I'm like, no.
Does that surprise you, though?
No.
Like the person you married?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, art-related, because he came up to me maybe a month ago, I don't remember what. I was doing all the art here, because usually I did it, and he did never really see it.
Yeah.
But he saw me doing it, he goes, you actually drawn? I'm like, seriously? We've been together for, like, what, 8 years now? And this entire time while I was in art school and everything else, you didn't realize that I actually knew how to draw?
Me of the GIF where the girl's like this.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And that goes back to the other video that we said, you know, things your art friends hate. Yes, I did actually draw that. Yes, I can actually do this. Like, I can't, I just looked at him like, are you serious right now? Like, no, I just make up all this stuff and I trace it online and I put it out like myself.
It's like asking someone non-art, related, like, what do you think of this? Or, like, I'll ask Adam a lot, does this look too warm to you? Is this too cool toned? Yeah. Or, like,
oh, I don't ask him anything art related anymore because he'll come up and he'll be like, yeah, that looks great. And I'm like, you say that to everything and it doesn't look great. But
maybe, okay, let's switch our, perspective. Maybe that's good because he's like a prospective client.
Or he's just saying it because he's my husband. He wants to be nice to me.
I try to think of it like Adam is, like, see, like, the prospective client wouldn't know if it's too cool or too warm. Yeah. They just like it, and that's...
I know, and that's why I'm thankful. I have got my sister who's in marketing and stuff, so anytime he just tells me it's great, I send it to her, and I'm like, there's something wrong with it. Please tell me what it is. And I'm like, is it this? Is it that? Is it the font? Like, what is it?
Yeah.
And she'll be brutally honest, and she'll go, no, change this. I don't like this.
You
or
need people
what is
like
it?
that,
and
though.
so that's nice, too, because... It's encouraging when your family's like, I love everything that you make, but then at the same time...
Yeah, it's like your mom telling you you're pretty. Like, moms are going to always...
She's not going to say, no, you're ugly. Like,
yeah, it's
fix
just,
this.
I don't know. Yeah, I know. I get that, too.
Yeah, so even when I'm, like, doing photos or something, I'm like, there's something not right about this. I'm like, what is it? And he goes, I think it looks fine. And I'm like, I don't know why I even asked you. Because you're going to say everything looks fine. And then I'll send it to my sister and she goes, oh, God, no, try this. And then I'll do it. And I'm like, thank you. That is what I wanted. And I think, I got that actually a lot where someone with a photo shoot was like, can you change this? Because the color just doesn't. And I'm like, one, I'm the professional. Two, there's a reason I changed it. So I think what it was is I had done a photo shoot, but they had like the crazy DJ lights going and they were like, and so the lighting was awful and the picture was super cute.
Yeah.
But it was in red and green, so it looked super Christmassy. Like her wedding dress was just a giant green.
DJ lights.
It was awful. And so I turned it to a black and white photo because then I don't see any of the colors.
Right.
And it's made it a much better photo. I could keep it without having the god-awful nasty colors on it. Well, I want it in color. And I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't.
So when that happens, what I do is I'm like, okay, here you go. Like, this is what, and kind of giving, like, that precursor, I feel like, in my contract, like, I'm a natural light photographer, so, like, in those kinds of situations, I'm going to capture the lighting as it was, which was crazy DJ lights.
Yeah.
You wanted the picture.
Here's crazy DJ lights.
If you would like me to retouch that, it'll be $25 per image. Just let me know.
Let's see. I'm going to take tips from that. $25 per image. There you go. Now you can have it.
And then you can send it off for someone to do for 10 and you make a profit of 15.
There you go. See, this is why you talk to other people. Because then you get tips like this. But I'm sure we could go on and on about photography stuff. But biggest takeaway, you pay for what you get. I mean, you get that with anything. You pay shit for electronics, you're going to get shit electronics. You pay shit for art, you're going to get shit art. So, yes, you'll find someone to do it cheaper, but Walmart's not going to do it as good as us.
We're not name dropping, but she did. I'm not. I can't.
I can't because I'm not licensed. I can name drop all I want. And then Walmart comes after me. That's how that's going to go.
I'm sure that Walmart has saved me in the past as far as, like, Harry Potter things or...
the last time I went into Walmart, a woman was, like, abusing her child with a cart. So
that sounds terrible.
I always have weird things go on when I go to Walmart, so I just don't like it.
Well, we have Meijer. I mean, why would you ever?
Because Meijer's is fantastic. Midwest for the win.
Midwest is best.
Yep, for sure. The Mid-State. I don't know if that's the right way.
way.
Got it! It's backwards on here, so No, it's not, actually, because that's, right, you know what?
It's been a long week.
And we're going to go on that, because apparently I'm just going to make a fool of myself if I keep going, so.
And it's like, what, 8:30? I can take a nap.
Oh, God, yeah. No, my bedtime's at 9, because I get up at 4:40 every morning, so.
Oh. That's sometimes when I go to bed.
4:40 in the morning?
Like, I'll take a nap from, like, 7 to 9, and then I wake up, I'm like, all right, time to edit. And I go to bed at, like, 3.
I guess, you know, if I stayed at home and didn't have to go somewhere early in the morning and I could set my own business hours, then I totally, I was a night owl before all of this, so I totally would too. I'd stay up all night and do it, but can't do it.
Sometimes it's a perk, but sometimes it's not, because Adam, you know, isn't on the same schedule.
Adam has to ruin everything.
Not
Boys. I just throw Chris under the bus. He ruins everything.
I did that for a long time, and then I'm like, maybe I shouldn't.
Well, he's the one who turned me into a morning... Wow, I'm still not a morning person, but he has never been able to stay up late, and since we started dating, he always gets up. It's 6 in the morning on the weekends, and he will get up, and I don't know why. And he just always gets up early.
I used to think those people were crazy, but the couple times that I have gotten up early, it is kind of nice.
It's nice and productive, but I just don't understand when you could sleep until at least 8, and he doesn't. Yes. He wakes up at like 5 or 6, doesn't matter what day it is or if we're sleeping in, and he's loud as all get out, so then I wake up, and so now I used to be able to stay up till like... How long
have you happily been married now?
Almost a year! And we've been together for almost 8 years, so... But no, when we first moved in, it turned, because I would stay up till 3 in the morning and then not get up till 10, but he's loud, and so then I would have to get up at 7, and so then I was like, well, now I gotta go to bed earlier, and...
Are you a light sleeper?
No, but he's really loud when he gets... It's not quiet.
I slept through my neighbor's house burning down.
That's a talent. Yeah. And this is your wedding photographer, guys.
I'll be awake for the wedding. Like, that's... Hello.
Just that, though.
Yeah.
That's all. So later you'll find her sleeping on the dance floor or something.
Yeah. I'll be ready to go home when it's time.
It's all good. I was ready to go, and my wedding wasn't even done, so, you know.
It's exhausting. Mm-hmm. It's a busy day.
It's a very busy day. And it's exhausting being a photographer at a wedding and running around and doing that. I did that once at a quinceañera, and they're like mini weddings.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a lot.
Yeah, people are like, make sure you get some food to eat. It's like, I'm the last to be fed.
Like,
I'm not gonna, like, sit and, yeah. I'll, like, pound down a protein bar in the bathroom, and that's fine.
That sounds like...
Then, I always order a pizza after a wedding, and I eat it in the bathtub. I take an Epsom salt bath,
and you eat pizza one.
Adam
just don't eat the salts.
Adam brings me a plate of pizza with dipping sauces, and then I eat it while I soak.
Just don't mix the salt with the pizza.
Well, no.
We don't need you ending up on Florida's, like, Most Wanted, because you turned into, like, the zombie dude who, like, ate somebody on the bath salts.
I've seen a lot of intervention.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Weird things. So we keep going on tangents, but, you know, we're entertaining, and you love it, and that's why you've watched all the way to the end. But I will link all of Brennigan's stuff down below. I'm doing that again because we're just going to do it down below. All of her pages and everything else. This will be up on my YouTube page as well as my Facebook. Well, there will be a link on the Facebook page, so check it out. We'll be back next week. Still have no idea who I'm inviting, but we'll figure it out.
If it's me, it might be me again.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just going to keep inviting her back because she's so much fun to hang out with. So, but thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.